Hi everybody, welcome back. Today I'm at the laundromat and I have to fix something in the change machine. This is the machine that people put either coins or bills into, and it dispenses loonies or quarters in our case here. And often what happens is, even though you have a sign and says coin only, people will still put the coins where the bills go. Something I've learned running a laundromat is people don't read signs. Even if you have blinking, flashing signs, people don't read them. And if they make a mistake, they'll blame you. Even if the sign says, do not put pods into the soap tray, they'll still call you and tell you it's your fault. So I've accepted that. In the case here, the coin dispenser, where you would put, say, a loonie in and it would dispense 4 quarters, is not working. And I have 2 things I'm going to look at. One is to clean the sensors inside the coin drop mechanism, which is an electromechanical system. And for that, what I have is these cleaning swabs. And these are different from typical cotton Q-tips because you do not want fibers from the cotton to get caught inside the electrical equipment. Now, if I was to take the electrical equipment out, open it, and then use the Q-tip, I would feel better about that. But in this case, because I'm probably only going to clean it not visually, but by inserting it into the opening and sort of just wiping as much as I can of whatever it contacts, I can't be sure that if I was to use a cotton Q-tip, that none of the fibers were left behind. So that, in that case, I'm using these foam applicator type cleaners. And I'm going to also use that to clean the dryers and the washer coin receptacles, coin drop mechanisms, just for regular maintenance so it operates correctly. The cleaner that I like to use is 99% pure alcohol, and the 70% or 79%, I think, is not good because it has the rest of the 79% is water. So 21% is water. And obviously for electrical equipment, you don't want water on it. So this can actually be wiped right onto electrical equipment to clean, and it'll be fine. Now, in terms of cleaning, it's really to get all the dust, debris, and lint that gets accumulated on these systems, which blocks the ability for any readers to read the bill or the coins. And that's one of the biggest upkeep protocols that we have to adhere to. Going back to the coin drop and the coin changer in this case, so I'm going to open it up, and here's where the bills get deposited, the bill cassette, and I've emptied that, so I'm just going to remove it right now, but it goes into there, and we'll clean that out after. There's a blinking red light that you see here, and the blinking red light, it tells you on the cassette what that means. And in this case, I know the blinking red light means it needs to get cleaned, so the optical receptors need to get cleaned, which I'll do that after. But first, I'm going to clean or figure out why coins are not getting dispensed from the coin drop mechanism. So first, good practice is just do a visual inspection, because it could be just as easy as a bunch of coins are stuck and they've sort of pancaked up together so that you put in a new coin, it doesn't drop because it gets blocked. That's the easiest, best case scenario. Hopefully it's that. Alternatively, we have to take the mechanism off, power it down, take it off, open, there's a flap where the coins go through, and there's an electro-optical reader there, which gets gummed up pretty bad. That has to get cleaned. So I'm going to try and see if maybe coins are just caught up in the drop, which would be best case scenario. I'm going to clear this area so I can work. Just a regular flathead screwdriver. I'm going to look inside here, and I do not see any obstructions, so that's good. I'm going to inspect Oh. And I can hear some jingling. So that suggests to me that there's maybe some coins caught in there because it shouldn't jingle. There should be nothing in there. So I'm going to look from the bottom. Oh, and there we go. So let's see. Hopefully I can get a view of this right there. All these coins. Oh yeah, there we go. So someone put a piece of paper in there as well for some reason, but that's what was blocking the coins. Okay, hopefully that's all it is. We'll do a test. Yeah, it looks like that's cleared. So what I'm going to do now, I'll place a loonie in here, and it should dispense 4 quarters. Oh, nope, something's still in there. There we go. And that was a toonie that just fell out. I'm going to just jingle this a little bit. There we go. There's the loonie, a loonie that fell out that I put in. Okay, so that's okay that it went through like that. Okay. And it pushed out another toonie there actually. So we'll try it again. All right. So that's a bit of a problem in the sense that it dispensed 4 quarters because I put a loonie in, but a loonie also came out. So I don't know if this loonie was one that was stuck in there that didn't get pushed out before, or it was the one that I put in. So I got to redo it, see what happens. Ah, I know what it is. It's the same loonie I put in, but it's falling out into the dispenser because I haven't put the catch back in. So this is just a steel tin catch that sits underneath the coin drop. So now, okay. That was not accepted because it just happened to not accept the coin itself. Oh, that didn't work either. That's not good. Try a new loonie. No. All right, a bit of a problem. So let's see. So it did, the loonies did fall through. So it went through the reader, but the reader did not recognize the loonie. So I think what I'm going to have to do is I am going to have to get in there and give it a good clean. And I suspect it could also be the dispensing mechanism in the motors that are down here. Something I like to do is I don't like to contaminate the main bottle with any other contaminants that I may be using that are on the applicator. So I don't use the applicator, put it into the bottle. I always place a little bit into the lid, and I put the bottle away from where I'm working so it doesn't fall or tip. Okay. So I've soaked the applicator, and I'm going to clean what I can see as best as I can. I don't think this is actually going to be that effective, but yeah, okay. I'm going to try and take this mechanism off completely, but before I do that and unplug it, I'm going to unplug it from the main power. And here's a ribbon cable. I'm going to take the ribbon cable off. Okay, so that's off. And I actually have not removed this in the past, so I'll be figuring it out as I go along here. And really that's how I've done a lot of the work here, that I sort of figure it out as I go. And that's the case on this one as well. It looks to me that there's some clips here that are holding this in place. There we go. So that's off. But I think this one should come off first. Okay. So that's off. And then it feels like there's something else here. Okay. I am a little cautious because I don't want to break anything, obviously. So I'm going to exercise a little bit of caution on how I pull this off. And I may not end up pulling it off, actually. There we go, I think. Okay, so this has gotten back in there. There we go. We got it. And nothing cracked, nothing broke, knock on wood. So that's good. So what I'm going to do here now is inspect visually anything that I can try and clean with the swab. And one of the things that gets gummed up quite easily, and I don't think you'll be able to see it here, but there's two optical sensors that there's a prism, and a sensor is shot from one side of the prism, and the way the prism is cut, it turns the beam of whatever it is 90 degrees, and then the prism has another cut, and then it turns the beam another 90 degrees. So it completes a circuit, an optical or a light circuit that, what I believe, that once a coin passes through, it's able to tell what kind of coin it is or that it has passed through. And what I find in the dryers especially, that prism or that diode that is shooting that light, infrared, whatever it is, gets totally covered by lint. So you have to actually open up the case very carefully, clean out those diodes, and then once you put it back together, it's good to go. Those units themselves, at least in the dryers and in the washers, the coin mechanism, which is different from this, but work in the same principle, those are about $250 each. This, I have no idea, because we haven't had to replace one of these. Hopefully we don't, but this is good practice just to be able to take it out, put it back in, so it helps you troubleshoot. Okay, so I'm gonna take a look, open this up, see what I can do, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. I did the best I could to try and open up the section where the coins drop in, where I believe the sensors to be, wiped it down as best with the alcohol swab, as well as the diode sensors and the prism. So now putting it back, and hopefully nothing cracks. But let's see. All right, I believe it's just pretty much inserted straight in like a cassette and lining up. All right, so this guy on the bottom is almost in. That's in. That's in. There we go. It's in. Now place the ribbon cable back in. Okay. That's there. I'm going to plug it back in. I'm going to put the cassette in. I wonder if the cassette had something to do with it because it wasn't in before. Try a loonie. There we go. That worked. Okay, I'll try it again. Okay, that's fine. The same loonie fell back out, so that means it didn't receive it or didn't read it correctly. There we go. So that works. So really just needed a good clean. It was obviously obstructed by some other coins and some paper somebody put in. That's been removed, and now it's functioning just fine. Okay, now that that's done, we're going to move on to cleaning and maintaining the bill receptor and the cassette. I have my swab, and I still have some alcohol in the cap. Okay. I'm going to turn this off, turn the machine off, just in case. I don't believe anything will get shorted, but connecting, disconnecting, better to have it turned off. Okay, so it's now been unplugged, and I'm going to remove the cassette. And something to do whenever you get new equipment is to inspect it, take a look at it, see how it functions, try and figure out where potential breaks in the process could be. And one of the potential breaks in the process, as simple as it may sound, is just this cassette. And this cassette itself has a sensor or some kind of prism or something on here, which then is read by a sensor in here. So cleaning those is pretty effective to help in the maintenance of this system. So just wipe it. And on this guy, there's nothing else, so that's clean now. And then I'm going to wipe the sensor that the cassette mates to. Okay. Now that that's done, the actual reading head, I'm going to remove that. And there's sensors there with diodes and such that reflect into another set of sensors that are down below. The wheels get gummed up pretty bad, so cleaning those is also important. Going back to what I mentioned earlier, where people will put coins in the bill receptor, really, if it gets too deep in there, the only way to do it is to open this up, remove the cassette or the reader, and you'll see the coin there. You have to remove the coin and then put the reader back in. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to take this and just wipe this nice and clean. All right. And there's a few spots. It's not just this reader. There's also on the sides, it's got, again, like a prism that's cut. Can't recall the shape right now, but it's got a 90 degree or a 45 degree on one side, 45 degree on one side. So the beam comes in here, 9 degrees, and then comes back out. So it completes an optical circuit. So we're going to clean those. I'm liking these little foam applicators. First time I'm using them from Amazon. Working quite well. Okay, now that that's done, then I go inside here to clean that sensor. Okay, and I let it air dry for a few minutes because I don't want to start introducing fluid or liquid into the system. Although it will evaporate, still better not to. Okay, there's more sensors here. Clean those. Clean all of these. Obviously, within a laundromat, there's a lot of dust or lint in the air, and that gets everywhere. So regular maintenance is very, very important. One day, I'll do a video about the impact of lint in the air on the HVAC system on the roof. There's filters in the intakes, and those get completely full of lint. And if you don't clean them out or get them replaced from season to season, your heater doesn't work, it doesn't start up, your air conditioning doesn't start up, and you have to call the HVAC guy in here, get on the roof and clean it out. Okay, so I think we're done here. I'm gonna insert that back in. Put the cache cassette back in. Plug that back in. Let it start up. And now with the alcohol that I have in the cap, I'm just going to toss that because I don't want to put it back into the bottle and introduce contaminants. So now this is done, and I am going to close it up, and this project is now finished.